I had an engine failure, and the engines quit.
So what were your options at that point?
The options was you're looking for somewhere to land. You train for this, so you kind of know, you can judge your heights visually, and you kind of know, I think I can go here, I think I can go over there. What's my options? So, well, I spotted a small farm field that looked okay from where I was in the air. I think I can get in there.
Hi, I'm Reverend Steve Millar, minister here at Grace Cathedral, and this is my lovely wife, Kathy. Friend, could you imagine being a seasoned pilot and your plane is going down? Well, on today's program, we have a guest that happened to, and he's going to share his story with us.
Welcome to the program, Denny. We're so happy to have you with us today.
It's nice to be here today to share my story with you.
Well, before you go into your story, we want the audience to know that you've been a longtime member of Grace Cathedral, and you're also the director and producer of our Grace Family Show.
Right. That's right.
So you're usually behind the scenes, not out front here on the set.
And of course, where I like to be, behind the scenes.
But we're so glad that you took this opportunity to be on the program today to share your story. I know I've never met anyone that had such an incident happen to them. So how did you first come to Grace Cathedral?
Well, I came to Grace Cathedral when I was a teenager. My grandmother, who was the reason I came to Grace Cathedral, she heard Reverend Ainsley on the radio. And my grandmother was raised in the old-time Pentecostal movement, full gospel. And she heard Reverend Ainsley, and of course, he was exciting on the radio in those days, which he always has been. And anyway, she wanted to go to the service. So she didn't drive, so my mother, got my mother to take her to the service. And of course, my sister and I just had to go. And, I'm 16,
Right.
Going to church, okay. But anyway, we went to church. We took Grandma. And we've been raised in church. Let me just back up on the family. I mean, we were raised in a good, moral Christian home. We didn't go to any full gospel church or that. We just went to just kind of a normal interdenominational church. They taught salvation, but nothing really deep. So when I got to Grace Cathedral and saw God moving, and of course I'm 16, it was wow. You hear about Bible stories, you hear about what God has been doing, in the past, but then you come and see it in action, and it's like, man, this is what I really have been searching for.
Right.
And God had been dealing with me as a young person anyway. I couldn't be like other kids. I just couldn't. You want to be, the peer pressure and everything, but you just couldn't feel right about it. But anyway.
He had his hand upon you.
He had his hand upon me, and I really do, and I know he had his hand upon me at a young age. But anyway, once I came, I stayed. And of course, that was about 1966, what is that, maybe 55 years ago, something like that. And of course, I've been here ever since. I got saved a few months later after coming to the service, and then I finally got the Holy Ghost not very long after that. So I was hooked. I was in the ministry in Grace Cathedral for the rest of my life. So that's how I got started.
And then the Lord blessed you with talents and being a director and producer for Reverend's programs.
Yes, he did. I was there right from the very beginning when Reverend Ainsley was told by the Lord that he was going to have a television ministry. I was right there from the very, very beginning when we first started buying equipment, setting things up. That was something that, wow, I really felt the call to do. I just felt that calling. So I was right there from the beginning, learning how to run a camera, learning how to do a little bit of the directing. That's how I got involved. Of course, I had a little stay in the Air Force a couple of years after that, but then I came back, and of course, I've been here ever since.
So what then led you to become a pilot?
Well, I always wanted to be a pilot, even before I started going to Grace Cathedral. That was something that was laid on my heart as a child. You know how some people want to be a fireman or a policeman or something. I just always wanted to be a pilot. I wanted to be a commercial pilot. That was my goal from early days as a kid. So I was already actively involved in trying to fly. I was going to Kent State at the time. I was in their aerospace program. I was working on getting my pilot's license. This was all kind of before I kind of got into the television thing. So then I had the, which way do I go? You know?
I love how God works everything out, because people are going to find out, you know,
Right.
all that you
They will.
were involved in.
But I had that desire in my heart. But I also loved photography, and of course television was in earlier stages then, but I loved that too. So then it's like, where do you go? What do you do? You know, I wanted to be a pilot. I wanted to go into the Air Force. But at the same time, God was dealing with my heart about, you know what, ministry, or the working souls and television. And I was really drawn to that too. And there was a lot of soul searching that I did before I made the decisions that I made. So that's kind of briefly how I got started.
And the Lord just took you step by step, though.
He took me step by step. And in
sought for
fact,
His will.
again, in these early days, even before I got married, one of the evenings when I was praying at the altar, when people come down at the end of the service and pray, Reverend Angel was laying hands on people, and he paused a minute as he's laying hands on me, and of course the Lord would give him revelations, and he would, you know, he'd speak through him at times, you know, how he'd give him a revelation. Laid his hands on me, and he just said, seek my face and I will show you the way. And that was a message from the Lord back then when I was maybe 18, 19 years old. And I've done that my whole life.
You've been walking with God ever since.
I've been walking with God ever since, and I'm happy doing it. Yeah, I gave my life to Him.
So lead us all the way into what happened being a pilot.
Well, I've been flying. Okay, I've been flying since those early college days. I've been traveling with Reverend Ainsley too, so then I wasn't flying so much. Then I was getting back into flying because it was off and on because I was busy with the TV work. So I got back into flying again. In the 90s, I started flying quite regularly again, trying to build up a lot more time because I just love flying too. So and I was flying part-time for an air cargo company at the time, and we were flying cargo freight at night for, well, it could be anybody. It could be FedEx, could be, it wasn't Amazon at the time, but you would just fly freight, car parts, anything like that. So I was on a freight run through the nighttime. I mean, after midnight, I got called for a freight run.
Were you by yourself?
I was by myself, and most of the time we were by ourselves. And I was flying from Akron. I went up to Madison, Wisconsin. Then I flew over to Chicago, to O'Hare. Then I went back to Columbus, Ohio. And then I was coming back to Akron, Canton. Well, when I was coming back to Akron, Canton, and this was between 7 and 8 in the morning, I was coming back to Akron, Canton, and I was over Hartville. Normally, when you come into Akron, Canton, a lot of times airplanes are coming over the Hartville area. I could see the airport in front of me. I was lining up for the runway. Of course, you're still like 5 miles away or so, but I was lining up for the runway. I was around 2,000 feet above the ground. That's a normal height for an airplane on approach. When I had an engine failure, and the engines quit. And you train for this, but you hope it never happens. And all of a sudden, it's like, uh-oh. I don't know that I like what's happening here. I hope it's not for real. I try for a restart or something, but you're 2,000 feet. You have to go somewhere. Now,
so you're gliding at this point.
You're gliding. An airplane just doesn't fall out. Now, you can have an airplane fall out of the sky. We know that. But normally, if you just have an engine failure, an airplane is not going to fall out of the sky. It's still gliding. It's like if you lost your engine in your car driving down the freeway. Okay, your engine quits, you're still moving down the road. Well, when you're flying, it's the same thing. You're still moving through the air. You just have to make sure you keep your airspeed up so that you can continue to glide. Well, when you're gliding, you're fully controlled. You're in full control other than you don't have any power to get out of the situation. So, I'll flip my page over to my notes so I don't forget anything here. So what I ended up having to do was what we call an emergency controlled crash landing. Well, you're literally crashing somewhere because you're not onto a runway, but you're in control.
So what were your options at that point?
The options was you're looking for somewhere to land. You don't normally want to land on a road because of power lines. You hit a power line, it'll just flip an airplane and you'll crash. Of course, you got people, you got cars on the road, you got that type of situation. You look for a field, if you can find a field. And of course, and I'm just going, thank the Lord, I was in the Hartville area, which still has farm fields. If I would have been closer to Akron, Canton, there would have been less and less farm fields to choose to try to land in. So immediately what you do when you can't get a restart, you're just looking around. And you train for this. You kind of know, you can judge your height visually, and you kind of know, I think I can go here, I think I can go over there. What's my options? And you don't have much time to think about your options. Just what are my options? Well, I spotted a small farm field that looked okay from where I was in the air. I think I can get in there. And literally, you're gliding. You have to make all those adjustments to make it work that you can get in there. You could overshoot, you could land short, and you don't have much of a choice. You only have so much altitude. So anyway.
By this time, how far away were you from the airport?
I was about 4.8 miles.
Okay, so you only glided so far.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just a little over 4 miles from the airport.
Okay.
So I found a small field, and I glided toward the field, and I actually landed in the field. Now, what I couldn't see from the air was it wasn't a nice flat field. It had some humps and bumps in it. Well, the humps and bumps is where I got the majority of my injuries, because I wasn't on something flat. So when you hit, you kind of hit, and then there's a bump, and then it kind of bumps you up, and then you kind of bounce down, up and down.
Did you tumble at all? Or
no
Okay.
tumble or anything. It was just basically up and down until you finally stop, okay? You have your wheels up, you have your landing gear up, so you're just landing on the belly of the airplane. So you're just skidding along.
So you're hitting hard, though.
You're hitting hard, you're skidding along, and you skid, but if you hit a little bump, it's gonna bump you up in the air, and then you're gonna come back down again. Well, you have no control over that. So that's where I got the forward and up and down, up and down. The field wasn't very big. I don't remember now how big it was, but people tell me that's a pretty small field. And he said, you weren't really far from the other end of the field where the trees were. There's always trees around a farm field. And there happened to be a gas well over there too that I don't even remember. So the Lord
protected you.
protected me. He protected me. Now
that's pretty amazing that you had to take that landing and you didn't know what was going to happen.
No.
And, it's amazing how God watched over and protected you. But we have to take a quick little break here.
Not yet.
And we want to hear the rest of your story.
All right.
So, friend, stay with us. We have more to come.
They sent a helicopter from Metro Health in Cleveland that was Life Flight at the time to pick me up and get me up to Metro, which was a level 1 trauma center at the time. There happened to be a trauma doctor on board that morning, which normally wasn't on that flight. He says, you got a collapsed lung. He says, you could die easily. I had a lot of very bad injuries. I mean, I really should have died.
Billy from Tennessee shares this testimony. I wrote to you for prayer for my bladder. It was not emptying out, and the doctor wanted to put a catheter in me. I went back to the doctor, and my bladder emptied, so no catheter was needed. Thank you, God and Jesus, and thank you for praying for me. Make sure to go to our website if you would like to plan your visit to Grace Cathedral. Also, don't forget to click on Our Grace Family Show to watch previous episodes or to find more information about upcoming shows. Our Grace Family is supported by viewers like you. Your donation is greatly appreciated. Your financial gift ensures that you and others like you can continue to hear and see what great things God is doing in the lives of others.
We're back with Denny, and Denny's a seasoned pilot, and he just had a control crash of his plane. So he's in this field, and he's there, and he has his seatbelt on. And Denny, what was going through your mind when you were slowly going to the ground?
Well, the only thing that's going through your mind at that time is trying to get the airplane down to where it needs to be safely. You don't have time to think about, oh God, or, you know, crying out to the Lord or anything. I mean, I was all totally right with the Lord. There wasn't
already
any
prayed
problem
up.
there.
Right. So
I
you
was
had
prayed up.
peace.
There was no problem there.
You had the peace of the Lord.
I had the peace of the Lord there. It was just trying to control the airplane to get it down safely. And you don't have much time. It's quick.
And even though it was a controlled crash, you hit hard.
I hit very hard, and I think I actually did a little skip or something because of the uneven ground, so a little bit of skip. So I had a lot of down pressure on my back and my legs, and of course I had forward pressure against the seatbelt, which happened to fracture quite a few of my ribs, and it also caused me to have a collapsed lung. Of course, that's things that you don't know at the time. When the airplane stopped, I undid my seatbelt, I got out. I got out, and I'm hurting. I'm hurting bad, but the adrenaline's flowing. I'm hurting. I get out of the airplane. I'm kind of stumbling. I'm not crawling, but I'm kind of stumbling away just to get away from the aircraft. I did have a cell phone at that time. It was early days of cell phones, but it was kind of like one of those big old walkie-talkies. But I called the dispatch, told them where I was, and, you know, hey, somebody come and help me.
So you knew to get away because it could catch on fire.
Yeah, you know to get away because you could have a fire. You just don't know. There was some people had saw me already, you know, at least coming down. So they called the police department. A deputy was dispatched to look for me, and he was driving all around the area trying to find me, and he couldn't find me. But he knew he has to be here somewhere. And then he said he got this thought, and later he said, I think God gave me that thought, but that might have been just him talking lightly, I don't know. But I believe it was the Lord that gave me thought. He said, you know, I used to hunt back in an area back over this way. I'm going to go look over there. And when he drove up a little gravel road and got up where he could see a little more, there I was on the backside. So he found me, and of course they called paramedics and all that. They sent a helicopter from Metro Health in Cleveland that was Life Flight at the time to pick me up and get me up to Metro, which was a level 1 trauma center at the time. So the helicopter comes, gets me. They try to stabilize you the best you can. And here's another thing with the hand of God. There happened to be a trauma doctor on board that morning, which normally wasn't on that flight. He had just gotten a promotion. He was only going to be there maybe a week or two at the hospital. He got a job at NASA after that.
Wow.
But he happened to be on the flight. He got me on the helicopter, and he said, son, he says, you got a collapsed lung. He says, you could die easily. He goes, I'm going to have to put a chest tube in you, and this is going to hurt. On the way to Metro. So, of course, they got all my clothes off of me. He gave me a local anesthetic right about here, did a little cut with his knife, took a tube about the size of my finger and just jammed it right into my side. And you know what? It hurt.
I bet.
When a doctor says it's going to hurt,
They mean
It's
it.
going to hurt.
Well, anyway, they got me to Metro. They got me into the trauma unit. And of course, they do all their things. Test, whatever, neck brace, all that stuff. And so that's how I got there. Now, I will say one thing, just backing up. One of the other pilots that happens to go to the church, he took Reverend Ainsley, I think it was like the next day, out to the crash site to see where I went down. And Reverend Ainsley told this pilot, he goes, the Lord let me know last night that he had you in his hand and took you down into that field, protecting you. So,
That's amazing.
and I believe that.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
I really believe that. And also the seat in the airplane, the pilot told me the seat, which is normally about this high above the floor where you sit down, he says it was mashed down to only about a third of its height. So I took quite a bit of down pressure. So I got a lot of...
so all that metal and everything went
It just
up.
collapsed.
Yeah.
The metal just collapsed.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a lot of very bad injuries. I mean, I really should have died. And if I didn't die, I should be on disability, not able to work, maybe on a cane or in a wheelchair. I mean, bad. I should be bad no matter. They kept telling my wife I had catastrophic injuries, he'll never go back to work. And all of those things did not happen. You know, I'm back to work. In fact, I never even missed a crusade. The following year, I was on a crusade with Reverend Ainsley to Africa. So the Lord, he brought me through all that, and I was back to work within that year, and I can physically do whatever I want to do. I mean, I can work out at the gym, I can lift weights, I can run, I can move my back, bend around. I don't have any pain. I'm fine. But I want to just get in a little bit time-wise what was wrong with me, and I'm just going to read a little bit of this. Your back is numbered like L's in the back, lower back is all the way down, then they got T sections in the middle, they have C's at the top. That's how they number these bones.
Okay.
I had a C7 fracture up in my neck, which they put a neck brace on me. You can be a paraplegic, you know, if you easily. I had that. T7, T8, and T9, right in the middle of my back from being thrown forward. I had compression fractures. I lost 3.5 inches of height because my spine was squished down 3.5 inches. It's the front of the spine that's squished, not the whole spine, it's the front. And the spine is made like honeycomb stuff, and it just squishes it down. Well, it threw my spine forward. And of course, that's all nasty stuff with pain and walking and everything. They wanted to put rods on either side of my spine in the back to keep those bones from crushing down any farther. Well, that's another part of the story. And I'll just say a little bit of that while we were there. They wanted to operate on me. I'm laying there in my bed waiting for him to show up. My wife and I and Reverend Ainsley, we're praying for God's will for him to open and close the doors, however he leads, okay, for me. The doctors never showed, or the people with the gurney never showed up. It was probably over half hour. I'm laying there in my room, nobody shows up. Then the doctor shows up, the doctor and one or two of his associates. And he was kind of more of their senior orthopedic surgeon at the time. He looked and he goes, son, he goes, I'm not going to operate on you. He goes, I've been thinking about it, and I'm not going to do it. He goes, we're going to see what happens. So he goes, we're just going to put you in a brace and let your body heal. So they put me in this brace. Put me in this brace.
Wow.
In the back, in the front. Anytime I wasn't laying down, I had to have this on for 3 months. So I'm up and around, I'm wearing this brace, okay? And the first week that I was in the hospital, of course, I'm really bad. I'm really hurting. They have you fixed in bed with pillows jammed around you. They don't want you to move because they don't want any of these bones to move or anything. So I was just out of it for the first week. And of course, then I get this muscle atrophy coming in. Your legs don't want to work. Your muscles don't want to work. You can get a blood clot. I mean, all kind of nasty side effects from laying down.
What happened to your lung, Denny?
Well, actually put the chest tube in there. He was able to get my lung to reinflate.
Okay.
I'll just say
Great.
reinflate. Your lung can collapse, and when it collapses, you can't breathe. And of course, you can't breathe, you're going to die or can die. So anyway, that's what happened to my lung. I also had damage down the bottom part of my spine, down here in the lower back and around the pelvic area. So I had fractures down there. So I had fractures all the way up and down my spine. And I just talk about pain, 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 pain. I was laying in bed one time, and they want to check your feet to see if you have, I had feeling everywhere, and they wanted to make sure you have feeling. And I'm laying in bed, but anytime you move my muscles, they were so beat up, it hurt bad. In fact, they said if I screamed, they could hear me out the hallway. One of the doctors grabbed my leg and he pulled it up just a few inches. Oh my God.
You felt like you were being tortured.
I was screaming out of the hallway, and I screamed at him, and I says, I told you not to touch my leg. Oh man, did that hurt. Anyway.
But it's a good sign because you have feeling.
It was a good sign I had feeling, exactly. It was a good sign that I had feeling. And all of this stuff is, you're never going to walk, you won't walk right, you could be in a wheelchair, all this kind of stuff. And another complication out of this, I know we're getting short on time sometimes, another complication is, after about 3 months when I'm doing pretty good, I finally got rid of this thing. I finally got rid of that brace. I'm doing pretty good. All of a sudden, I start not feeling really good inside, almost like when you've eaten too much food and you kind of like, oh, I can't eat another bite.
Mm-hmm.
I had a lower bowel in your intestines twist. So I got a bowel blockage.
That's from the accident.
From the accident, but it was a delayed reaction from the accident. So they said my bowel probably twisted in the accident, maybe flipped back over, but then it's got a weak spot and it flipped back over again. You can die from that. So I had emergency surgery, another 2 weeks in the hospital, and then I finally came through that. And then I went back to therapy and, started coming out of things. So, but it was a long haul. It was a good 6 months of really working hard with therapy to come out of everything. And it was really a full year before they finally released me. But hey, I'm fine. I'm doing fine. And like I said, I never missed a crusade. And there's all kind of extra things I could say here about that.
But basically, the doctors really didn't think you were going to survive.
They thought I was going to die. They told my wife he may not make it.
But you didn't give up hope.
I didn't give up hope.
Your wife didn't give up hope.
We
Reverend
didn't give
Ainsley
up
and the
hope.
church didn't
We
give up
didn't
hope.
give up hope. We prayed. We were praying.
You had a lot of people praying for you.
In fact, I actually talked to Reverend Ainsley every evening. Every evening, and we had prayer every evening, all the way through, the whole time I was in the hospital. I was really close to the guy. I worked so close to him.
It's great that, because the devil's always going to try to give you discouragement.
Which he will.
And you knew that you put your faith in God, and God protected you.
And he did. And I wanted to come out of this. I didn't want to be in a wheelchair. I wanted to come out of it, and I wanted to stay at work. I wanted to still do the Lord's work. And that's what I'm still doing today.
And the devil was trying to stop you from doing that work.
He was trying to stop me. He's tried to stop me a couple of times in my life, but this was the big one. He tried to stop me, but
he couldn't.
I'm still doing it.
Because he no doubt knew that the Lord was going to call you to fly his big 747 plane
which
for the
I
ministry.
ended up doing. And I just wanted to say real quickly, when I came out, when I did come out, the doctors gave me a full report on why I should be okay, why I should be able to go back to flying, which I did. The FAA granted me a medical certificate. They said, as long as the doctors say you're okay, we're okay with it. And I was able to keep my medical certificate, for what, I don't know, another 20 years or more.
That's wonderful.
And so I've been flying.
God really moved for you,
He did.
Denny. And that's a huge blessing. But we need to take another quick break here. So friends, stay with us. We have more to come.
I was part of the Reverend Ainsley's crusade team. I started in 1976. Friday night, we had a miracle service at Grace Cathedral where we all worked. And Friday night, we drove out again. We did that every weekend, with the exception of maybe 2 or 3 weekends a year.
Wow.
We did that for almost 8 years. I saw thousands of miracles, videotaped thousands of miracles, because we were crusade every weekend, every weekend, every weekend, every weekend.
We're back, and Denny, we'd like to thank you for being on the program today. And friend, God had a plan for Denny's life, and we know that the devil couldn't stop it.
That's right. In fact, the Lord made Denny one of his pilots for our great missionary plane that went to the nations with Reverend Ainsley. And we've asked Denny to come back and be with us again on the program so he can share some of those special stories with you. So you're going to want to make sure that you tune into that program. Well, we hope to see you next time. God bless. Bye-bye.
If you are encouraged or blessed by today's program, let us know. We would love to hear from you. You can email us at ourgracefamily@thegracecathedral.org or write to us. This program has been made possible by the friends and partners of Ernest Ainsley Ministries.